You might notice I look a bit different to other people doing reviews of this. First off, I don't do Pilates. I lack the flexibility, I don't have the desire to. But like many of you, my partner got excited that she could get the $299 Aldi Reformer. This video is to share some lessons learned, set expectations, and show you how not to miss out. I'll just show you a bit of a timeline because we have been through this before. So 6 months ago, we saw the Reformer in Aldi in the catalogue. They released the catalogues about a week before the products are released. So, catalogue was released, and then the Reformer came out. When we saw the Reformer in the catalogue, Esty got really excited and we decided to get it. We showed up on opening, or 5 minutes before, and made a massive mistake. We walked into the store. People sprinted, pushed through, and the 2 Reformers were gone within 15 seconds. To say I was devastated would be a lie, but we were disappointed. I think having it all end in 15 seconds just felt too familiar. But we learned from it and we saw the Reformer in the catalogue last week. We knew that it was going to be different this time. We were going to redeem ourselves. We planned extensively. We went to an Aldi in a suburb with an average age, an Aldi in a suburb where they aren't as fast as I am. Esty took the middle aisle and I took the outer. This is how it went.
Yay! And they're active.
Can I get a trolley?
That's right, just grab one.
Okay.
Can you grab the other one?
Yeah.
Overall, my thoughts on the Reformer are that it's pretty well built. The instructions were fine. I didn't follow them to begin with, and I realized that I don't know what a Reformer looks like, so I wasn't really that effective. It does take up a decent amount of space in the room. I think about an erg, like a rowing erg or a treadmill, and it certainly takes up less space than one of those when it's folded up, because those aren't particularly efficient, but you know, it's bigger than a yoga mat, which is probably the alternative. The height limit is around 6 foot, which worked out perfectly for me because I don't really want to do it and I'm over 6 foot, so I'm too tall for it. But if you are taller than 6 foot, you're going to struggle. You'll just be a little bit cramped, and you can adjust these shoulder rests. I think if you adjust the shoulder rests so that it goes further out, then the headrest is a little bit shitty, and that's one of the things that I would probably consider replacing. You'd be able to just do a piece of sponge on some plywood and replace the existing one. You can wrap it in vinyl, just grab it from Spotlight, staple gun to the back. And I think that would be quite a good upgrade because the headrest isn't super comfortable. And for Esty, we've had to move these shoulder pads. I'm a sports and mechanical engineer by background, so when I looked at this, I definitely had some thoughts on improvements. The number one improvement that I would make, I wouldn't make it straight away, but when the bands wear out, I would absolutely replace them with springs. So this whole thing is powered from these bands on the underside. In the photos, I thought they'd be a little bit kind of shitty, but they're actually pretty good. I do think that they'll last a while, and I don't know where you could buy replacements. So I think as soon as they wear out, it'll be pretty easy to do a little bit of a mod at the other end, replace them with springs from eBay. There are some that are around $150, half the price of the Reformer, but as far as a replacement part goes, that's not too bad, and it's going to extend the life of this by quite a lot. I'll do it once the bands wear out though, because there's no point replacing perfectly good bands. I think the feel might be slightly improved with the springs, but it's probably not going to be enough to really worry. The last thing is that the footrest over here is not that great. It's just a little bit too thin. I think when you see equipment in the gym, it's got this really nice foamy footrest, and this just doesn't have it. It's perfectly fine. It'll do the job, but you might find that it presses a little bit too much on your feet. I'd consider just either wrapping that in rubber or doing another one of the sort of sponge on the outside, then vinyl, just to give it a little bit more padding. Alternatively, you could just wear padded socks or shoes or something like that while you do it, but I think for doing something inside, you really don't want to have to. I think if you or your partner already do Pilates classes, this sort of thing is absolutely perfect to supplement those at home. If you're just getting into it and you haven't done any classes, I would definitely recommend doing some. I don't teach classes, I'm not sponsored by anyone, but I definitely would recommend it because I look at this and there are some moving parts and a lot of ways for me to hurt myself as someone who does not know how to do Pilates. So I think it's definitely worth doing just so that you learn some of the technique, you get the instructor to correct you, get feedback quickly, and you'll just be that little bit safer and know that you're doing it the right way. Overall, I think for $299, it's a really hard deal to pass up as long as you can sprint for it.